YouTube. What up, y'all? I'm gonna try and make this real quick. I just got done watching a couple videos. And, I actually been meaning to make a video for a while, but I just been having a lot of shit going on, you know what I'm saying? You know, just life, you know what I mean? But, I actually just got done watching a Joker Boxing 44 video, and he was talking about Sergio Martinez. And this video is not directed at Joker, but he talked about something that I've been really wanting to get off my chest for a minute, because when I realized, like, I watch a lot of videos talking about boxing, and the one thing that we first have to remember before we talk about a boxer or weight divisions and champions and legacy and all of that shit, we have to remember that these are human beings, and they go through and have the same emotions and shit that we have. You know what I'm saying? They expect the same shit that we expect. So their job is fucking boxing. So just like us and our job, whatever it is you do, whether you fucking, you know what I'm saying, sell shoes, or you fucking call people and try and sell shit to them, or you clean up horse shit at the zoo, whatever it is you do, and you get paid for it, you wouldn't turn down a raise. You want to get paid as much as you can for doing that shit. And boxing is very similar to everything. You know what I'm saying? Like the rap game, or being a fucking shoe salesman, making commission. Now, let's just say you got some crazy ass pair of Air Jordans that you figure that you can get $500 for. If you ain't gonna do nothing else, you're gonna save them motherfuckers to at least after tax time, cause you know that's how niggas do. You know what I'm saying? They get a tax check, and they gonna blow it on something crazy. So you probably can't get somebody to come there and splurge on it for 500. Or you can try and sell them now and get the regular Jordan price, which is what, 200 or 180 or whatever it is. I don't know. I haven't bought a pair of Jordans in a while, but you can sell them for the regular price. Now, if you got 25 pair of Air Jordans that you could sell and make that regular commission off of, why wouldn't you hold on to this other pair, this special pair that's in the purple and gold, you know what I mean, pair of Air Jordans that you think you might be able to sell for 500? Why wouldn't you hold on to them? If you think that it's possible that you can get 500 for them a little ways down the road. And boxing is kind of the same way. When you have, as he said, Joker 44 with Giovanni Golovkin and Sergio Martinez, if you got this fight that might be big as fuck down the road, why take it now and sell them motherfuckers for a regular Air Jordan price? You know what I'm saying? Because if you were selling shoes, that's exactly what you would do. So why in the boxing game would you expect it to be anything different? This is their job. You know what I'm saying? They're just like shoe salesmen. They're just not selling shoes. I think that's the thing that I've learned about, like, you know what I'm saying, when I talk about, like, I used to like blood boxing, man. I used to feel the same exact way he felt about Floyd Mayweather, man. And what changed me and what opened my eyes was I started to read some books. And I ain't talking about like Box Rec and, you know what I'm saying, the history of boxing and all that kind of shit. Like, I actually read some books about some old fighters' lives. And once I started to get into it, I realized the way this shit is now is exactly the way this shit was 100 years ago in boxing. Now, the major difference between back then and now is the power structure. You know what I'm saying? Because like right now, the people who hold all the power pretty much in boxing is like HBO, and then you could say Showtime, and then whoever pulling the strings behind those two entities basically pulling the strings in boxing because they're paying the most money. So let's say, for instance, Floyd Mayweather wanted to fight Robert the Gross Guerrero. If HBO said, no, I wouldn't like that fight, Floyd really wouldn't have a choice if he wanted to make the kind of money that he's used to making. So, like the way that fighters are promoted and shit like that is different because times are different. You know what I'm saying? We have TV and cable and 24-hour internet and all these different outlets to promote shit and all of that, and ways to saturate the industry that there wasn't 100 years ago. But the basics of it is pretty much the same. Back in the day, they would even, like a particular fighter's team would even go out of their way to promote another fighter just to sell a particular fight. And it's kind of the same way. The only difference is we don't get enough exposure of different fighters. So we get a lot of these fighters who stuck in these fucked up positions and predicaments because, like, say for instance, Sergio Martinez. It's not a whole lot of popular names for him to fight, sellable fights for him to fight. So if everybody is talking about Golovkin, why in the fuck should he fight him now? Because then if he fight him, win or lose, who the fuck else is there to fight? Let's say he get in there and knock this fucker out in one round, or totally destroys this dude in 5 or 6 rounds, you know what I'm saying, which is even worse. Then what does he do? He'll be right back in the position that he's in right now when you're saying that he's really not fighting anybody. So at least with the Golovkin thing being talked about, there is a fight that he may be able to sell and make money off of a little ways down the road. Like around tax time, pretty much. If you understand the analogy. When I used to think about like Floyd Mayweather and the opponents he picked in his career, it was like, just think about this analogy. If somebody wanted to pay you to work on a farm and you had 2 jobs, you could either clean up all of the shit all week, or you can fill up a bucket of water and just put it in the stable where the horses were. You was gonna make the same amount of money. You were gonna do either that job or clean up the horse shit job all week. Which one would you choose? It's a no-brainer. You're gonna pick the water job. Shit, because it's fucking 1/10 of the work and you're going to get paid the same amount? Hell yeah. Now, if it was, you can do the water and get paid $5, or you can clean up the horse shit and get $50, it'd be a little different story. But if I'm Floyd Mayweather and I'm pretty much going to make $30 million a fight, why fight a dude who might be able to beat me when I could fight this dude and make the same amount of money? They are human beings. And no human being, none of us sitting on this fucking YouTube or watching or hearing me right now would do any different. You know what I'm saying? Because they're human beings. If it's just about, all right, let me see if I'm the best. Yeah, all right, that's cool and shit. You know what I'm saying? But you do that shit when you playing fucking Madden on 360. You know what I mean? And when you doing that shit, you might go for it on 4th and 34. You know what I'm saying? On your own 32-yard line. You might do that. But if you put, you and whoever you playing, y'all bet $200 on a game, let it be 4th and 2, your ass is punting. You know what I mean? So that's just the human element. We have to remember, and I think that sometimes we actually lose track of that shit. Like, these motherfuckers are athletes. You know what I'm saying? We forget the human element of it. Just the basic. I mean, that's the basic of basic shit in the world. You know what I'm saying? If you want a hamburger, this place got hamburgers 2 for $1, and this place hamburgers is $2.99 for one. You going for the two for $1 if the hamburgers are of equal quality. Can you imagine if the 2 for $1 were way better quality than the $2.99? What the fuck? So think about that. I'm gonna make less money fighting a guy who has a better chance of beating me than I could fighting this guy that I'm sure I can beat, and I'm gonna make more money. It's a no-brainer, yo. Let's just remember that when we're dissecting these fighters and legacies and all that shit. Just remember that element as we're doing it.